Hello, welcome to episode number 11 of the Alfology2 podcast. This is the first episode we've had with a guest. The guest is my long-time friend, Kane, and we will be discussing the meaning of life and existential philosophy, which are topics that we are in no way qualified to talk about. The recording was done separately from this intro, so we're just going to cut straight to that, and do enjoy.
Is there a meaning of life? Isn't that horrible?
Yeah, you've just gone straight in there.
Well, I thought the whole thing is sort of about, is there a meaning of life?
Yeah.
That's really what existentialism is all about.
Right.
Is there a meaning of life? And if there isn't, what do you do?
Well, you just... Because if there's not, you live to die. So... and, if you stay within, the system... it's just weird. Already, you know what I get, because already you get born, you grow up, average household, you grow up, maybe siblings, maybe not. And then, parents or one parent or whatever your family sort of thing is, there's work involved for money to live. And then you get to a certain age, and for some reason, you have to start doing that. so
is that the meaning of life? Is
it feels like
is being alive.
It feels like it.
Is being your dad.
Yeah, it feels like you grow. You get to a certain age, then the system says, "Oh, you have to get a job," and then you need money to survive.
Yeah, but that's a very practical meaning of life.
Yeah, but then that's your life up until you're 60 now. For us, it's going to keep going up.
70, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we're going to live to 100.
I'm not.
No, you're too fat.
Yeah.
I am too.
No, but...
We're going to die like the people in the good old days.
But just think, though, because like you said, the age is going up all the time, isn't it, until we can retire?
Yeah.
So you said, what, 70?
70.
That's really old. So think, though, 70, and then...
That's offensive to old people.
Well, yeah, but you think you get to 70, and what's the average age of living these days? Is men slightly more than women?
No, men are less because we get killed in wars and do stupid stuff.
Right, okay. But in terms of natural death?
I think it's probably about the same, but your life expectancy as a man is lower.
But would you say it's what?
80,
early 80s?
84, yeah.
So you've got...
In fact, I actually did this on the podcast. You've different episodes, 83.
Yeah, so you've got 13 years left after work all your life.
This is grim, isn't it?
It's so does the meaning of life come after?
After you're retired?
Yeah.
I don't know. I asked you the question: is there a meaning of life?
I like to think there is,
or is it just pointless? And we just make it up.
We're just this. Because if you think of it, we're animals, so we're just procreating and procreating, procreate, but we're over procreating now.
Yeah,
I saw one of your podcasts, the population going up.
That's very good.
And that was
listen to that one.
Did you say that was only a short space of time?
In the last 200 years. So 200 years ago, there were 1 billion people, and now there's 7.7.
See, what's gonna?
Fuck.
So, in another 200 years, what's going to happen now?
Well, we're all probably going to die.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Global warming.
I don't many.
But then, because now there's no space anymore, so everyone's building up, aren't they? In a way,
in cities, yeah.
You see,
depends where you are.
No, I went to London the other day, and that was scary. It's just so busy, but the building, everything, you just go and you can just see everything just going up and up. But this is off a tangent now of the meaning of life.
That's okay.
This is weird
podcast. You can literally they can be hours long. Mine aren't normally because I don't have enough interesting stuff to say.
But we've got quite a bit here.
Yeah, and I've got stuff written down on this pad. Actually, just checking that there wasn't stuff written on the back.
So
my notes from the previous one.
But I like to think there is a meaning of life.
So you don't think that life is just meaningless? That you just sprung up because it was a coincidence?
I don't know, because I'm very pessimistic, negative, with a lot of stuff. I don't mean to be, but I am. I like to think of it as realistic.
Yeah, so realistically,
it
probably isn't.
There's not a definitive meaning of life.
Like, there's no point.
Yeah,
like everything that you ever do is going to be forgotten about.
Even with
10
these
minutes
things,
after
like linking this podcast, you see YouTubers and everything making millions these days, millions and millions. But like, they're still going to die the same as everyone else. Like, okay, they might have had a bit more fun.
And then, like, a few years after they die, everyone's going to have forgotten what they did, and then that just becomes meaningless.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter how famous you are.
Exactly.
Everything that you did is going to be meaningless at some point.
Yeah. We are, like, our lives now, it's like a grain of sand, like, on the beach, because we are a blip. We are literally a blip in time, like a slither in time. So thinking, I don't know, 100 years, history classes at school or whatever, would they be talking about our age of, the invention of the iPhone and stuff like that?
Brexit.
Yeah.
Studying Brexit.
I don't want to go too much into that.
Because I don't know what I'm talking about.
I don't know. But, yeah, like, is our life, is this space of life now just as meaningful as world events such as, like, world wars and things like that?
Probably,
are we still shaping?
Probably not.
Are we shaping our world the same amount, but in a different way? Obviously,
you're melting my head.
So you're surprised I'm quite good at thinking.
No, that's why you're here. You're the inaugural guest, because I thought,
because this is
why I picked this topic.
Deep. It's deep.
Because you have things. Yeah, this probably isn't potentially the entertainment value that I was looking for.
This is probably raising more questions now in my head.
It's all right, mate.
Yeah.
Like, the great thing is, it doesn't matter how many questions it raises in your head, because it doesn't matter anyway.
True, because there's probably no meaning.
And look, speaking of which, that what we're talking about generally, and I will probably title the podcast as this,
right,
is existential philosophy.
Okay. You mentioned that to me the other day. I didn't know what that was. Anyway,
there is something within existential philosophy, as we discussed earlier,
right,
which is called the absurd.
Okay.
Because it is absurd. It's basically what we've just been talking about. And that is essentially that life has no meaning unless you give it one. So basically, to make yourself feel better, and I think almost everyone does it, you, like you were talking about earlier, with you just like, you get a job and you have to look after people and you have to make money and contribute to society. So you have to just make up your own meaning.
Yeah, I can see that. That makes sense.
Yeah, I think it's true. Like,
that is true, yeah.
There isn't one, but once you're here, you might as well make one up.
Yeah.
And it's also, the absurd is also about the frustration of looking for meaning. And everything's like chaotic and mad.
Yeah.
And you look for it, and then you realize that it's not there. You're like, oh.
What age does that happen?
Oh, shit. I don't know. When did you first realize that the universe was pointless?
I don't know. I don't think it's pointless, but I think people look way too much into things than, like, reminds me of like English in like year 10 and 11, where you're watching a film and it gets paused every 2 minutes. Like, what's the meaning here? We watched Jaws.
Why did Kate Winslet get her tits out of it just then?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't watch that one.
We watched it in year 7.
What, Titanic?
Yeah, Titanic. She got her tits out. I was like 11.
Yeah.
Kate Winslet gets her tits out. I'm like, oh my God, that's the best moment of my life.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's cool.
I don't know what it meant.
Why were you watching films like that in year 7?
Oh, I don't know, because I was horny.
Okay. This is gone south. But yeah, so
anyway.
I watched Jaws in year 11 for some reason, for English. And, Jaws is sort of Jaws, isn't it? It's just a shark killing people. Like, it's just a rampaging shark.
Yeah, there's no meaning to Jaws.
But my English teacher found a meaning within it. Because every 2 minutes he stopped. And then,
so you're saying, like,
I remember when on the film, I think it's I can't remember for sure, don't quote me on it, but the first person that dies, like, is a kid or something. It's a little kid. It might have been the second person or something. But then the bloke with the glasses, like, I don't know, dark hair.
Yeah. I've seen.
Like, yeah, he has to like write up the report.
Yeah.
And then instead of him sort of saying it out loud or whatever, I don't know whether he linked this to the book as well. I don't know. But on the typewriter, the screen goes to the typewriter and then he just types out like the meaning, like shark attack. And then apparently that was a big thing for dramatic effect because like he was typing it as it was. But, I mean, it wasn't really, was it?
Yeah, that's not.
It's just.
So what you're saying is that
I'm just saying that
your English teacher in Jaws is a metaphor for
people are looking too much
for existential philosophy.
Yeah.
What is the meaning of Jaws?
It's just people are too engrossed in it. In a way, I think too many people are way too into it to actually enjoy any outcomes of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I was talking to somebody about you.
Okay.
Behind your back.
Right. Who?
Jordan.
Okay, Jordan. Yeah, that's fine.
Jordan Roder.
Yeah.
Our friend. Yeah.
Our friend Jordan.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
More my friend Jordan.
More your friend, but he does like me when he comes around.
Yeah. Yeah.
We will.
Let's leave that there.
No, he just turns very gay when he's drunk.
No, he doesn't. So I was talking to Jordan about you. And actually, we were talking about all of our friends and mutual friends.
Yeah.
And ourselves.
Okay.
Included.
Yeah.
And we were talking about who has their life figured out.
Okay.
And we went through our friends and who's got their problems and who doesn't have their problems and who's got personality defects and who hasn't got their personality defects and who has the right idea. And we came to the conclusion that you have the right idea. You got it all figured out, haven't you?
I don't know. That's a lot of pressure to put on.
Well, that's why you're here.
Am I?
Yeah, not like in general, not in the whole meaning of life thing.
Just
like literally right here.
Because you want to speak to me because of that.
Because you've got it all figured out. Yeah.
I don't have it figured out.
You do have it figured out.
How though?
Because you have realised,
right,
in your own weird way, because let's be fair, you're not an academic in per se.
No, I'm not like Oxford caliber people. No,
you're not like
I got good grades and everything.
In a roundabout way, this is going to be a compliment.
Okay,
you thick bastard. And I think that you have you have a simple outlook on life. You don't overcomplicate it.
Yeah,
that's what I'm getting.
You're
an uncomplicated person.
I'm the sort of person. So like tipping point in the chase and stuff.
Yeah,
I'm really good at like general knowledge because I don't know why, but my common sense side of things, I'm not very good at.
But that is like a double-edged sword because it's like you're uncomplicated, and as a result, you realise that but like there isn't meaning in life, so I shouldn't try and really find one too much. I'll just get on with day to day.
I don't want it to sound like I've given up on life because there isn't meaning, but I'm realistic to the fact that what is the point of looking for this meaning of life that people have been looking for thousands of years, and then
because they haven't found it.
No, if they can't find it, if some of these people in the past,
this is what I'm saying. Like all these like high level academics and philosophers.
What's the point of wasting your time?
They can't find the meaning of life.
What's the point of wasting your time on this?
Yeah, you might as well just chill out and have a wank.
Yeah, other things to do as well.
But yeah, you might as well do what you want to do.
Yeah,
and crack on with your own thing because trying to solve life's great mysteries is pointless. Which sort of does do a bit of a checkmate on this podcast, but
well, it's still more things to sort of.
Nonetheless, anyway, we'll move swiftly on because I'm absolutely serving an ace on myself. Okay, so angst and dread. So interesting thing in the angst and dread things, it's like existential angst. You're worried about the fact that you're alive and it's weird. And
I get that.
Yeah, I get it. I think everyone gets it. So you're like,
do you remember when we were younger? Not too much younger, like maybe, how old are we now? 24? Like, I don't know, 7 years ago, 7, 8 years ago, and we should just be chilling, and then, like, I don't know whether you did as well, but, like, you just used to, like, space out, didn't we?
Yeah.
Like, but not in a weird way. I just used to be like that. It's weird that we're alive. Everything's really... Oh god! So I just feel weird now talking about it because just the fact that we're here right now talking to each other, connected to a thing like called the internet. Well, it's going to be on the internet, like that's been created by people. And like, why do we look like this? Why are we speaking this language? Like, you can understand me right now.
Yeah, which is weird.
I can understand you without even thinking about it.
And all we are is like blocks of atoms. We're blocks of atoms that can understand what that other block of atoms is talking about.
Yeah.
Like,
So,
what
like,
the fuck is that?
Yeah. Like, it is really weird.
Like, how did that happen?
That's the thing. I think about, like, it's really hard because I don't want to offend anyone in it or anything. Because obviously, like,
go for it. Okay, yeah, what you do.
No, just like religious side. Like, I'm not religious. Don't have any problem with
Yeah, I think we already sort of like, we might have already given that impression by the whole, there's no, because religious people go, oh, the only meaning of life is to serve God and do what God says. But
it's not.
Like, smite me.
Yeah, especially after you make thinking of these remakes of these films, I don't think he'd be too happy with a...
Yeah, exactly. Being played by Harry Styles, it'd be an honour.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, so, yeah, me pretty obvious. I'm not religious. Don't have a problem with anyone who is religious unless it's, in the way of wars and stuff like that. I think it's stupid. But anyway.
But no offence.
Yeah. Oh yeah, going back to how things are created and stuff. So, obviously, like, I think of what is it, evolutionism? What's it called? Creationism. Yeah,
creationism. Yeah,
is that
where they created the world in?
No, not that. Darwin's theory.
It's just scientific theory, I think.
Of just like evolving. Yeah, evolution. That's it.
And people say, "Oh, not an academic."
Yeah, got there in the end. And things are just slowly progressing, as in back then, like, things are still evolving now, but it makes sense. It takes a long, long time, and, things are made by coincidence because it's, like, what's the word? Like, some animals are created in the way that they shouldn't be, so it's not a disability in a way, but it's like do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I'm trying.
And it works to their advantage in the end. And then by having,
I can't think of the word.
Yeah, but it's through, like, they get an extra, I don't know, trait or something that lets them survive.
Yeah, it's like the first animal that accidentally had eyes.
Yeah.
Was at a huge advantage because it could see.
Yeah, so it survived and carried its genes through on. So that makes sense to me. That's cool. Like,
good. Darwin will be pleased.
But it is just so odd.
Yeah, and it's particularly odd that we've now developed to this point where we're now aware.
Yeah.
Of the fact.
And even like, just like humans, like, because all we are is just another species of animal.
But we've managed to work that out.
And like, now look what we've done.
Yeah.
And, like, in some ways it's really cool, but we are like destroying shit and stuff. Not cool. But
yeah, no, it's the awareness of it that gets me.
Yeah.
So it's like, and this sort of like almost what it's all about, that like we've managed to evolve from like bacteria.
Yeah.
From an explosion that happened billions of years ago to get to this point where we're sitting here and we're thinking like, we know that we're here, and we know that we're here.
Yeah.
And this isn't that weird. Bear in mind, we are just an animal, and even if you break that down, we're just a block of like material. We're
animals that have created their own system of work, money, all these integrating things. It's that weirds me out.
It weirds you. Does it shit you up? Does it?
Yeah. But then, we're saying about our existence and stuff. Like, humans know they exist, obviously, and that. But
like, do you reckon dogs know?
That's what I mean. Like, with other animals. So dogs.
But like, they know they exist.
Yeah.
But they're existing. So like,
and I don't get these people who say like dogs don't feel like emotional pain, because you can see they do.
Yeah, you shout at your dog,
and they go like, oh, they like happy, and then they're tired, hungry, but they're just not. I guess, are they just not as evolved as us?
Yeah, are they like a child?
Yeah,
sort of.
that could kill you if they want to, depending on like the type of dog.
The great thing about dogs, though, is that they look at you and like they could kill you in like
but they don't.
minutes, but they just go like, nah, he's
No,
cool.
It's like they just love, like most dogs just love everyone.
Yeah, but like, so dogs are aware that they're alive, but they're not aware
of the like
the concept of existence.
no, and that weirds me out. But then, how do we know that they're not aware? They just can't tell us,
Yeah.
and they don't have like the hands.
So you're saying that my dog in the other ear is probably thinking like,
not anymore.
Thanks for that, mate.
Oh, it's still alive. She's really old. So
Yeah, but do you reckon she's thinking like,
I don't know though.
shit, I'm gonna die soon?
No, but
Or do you reckon she's just like,
no, but
blissfully-
she wouldn't be thinking that because it's not her language.
Okay, she's thinking,
I don't
bark, 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 bark.
Yeah, it'd be like a one, like you know, like it's
Scooby
thinking.
Doo.
No, Scooby can speak English, so no.
So
Yes,
going back to the actual point of what I was going to say about angst and dread, you can see on I've actually only written one thing next to it, and we haven't even got round to it.
Okay.
Despite the fact we've been talking about it for ages. That is that part of the whole point about angst and dread is that you have freedom to do so much in your life. There is freedom to do whatever you like.
but you don't.
But you don't. And also, there is not enough time to do all of those things. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, but like, yeah, that makes sense as well. Like, massive, because what's stopping you from being like, fuck this? I'm gonna go do what I want.
Nothing.
The pressures of society,
That's very deep.
which, you know, normalization, all that stuff, psychology,
Yeah.
that obviously, like, that's obviously, like, it plays a part, you know.
But there's also like, even if you could do all those things, if those pressures didn't exist and you could just do whatever you wanted, there wouldn't be enough time. Like,
You'd always feel unfulfilled.
he's like, I want to be a professional athlete and an astronaut.
Yeah,
You
it's
can't
not
be
gonna
both.
happen.
The only person who really has done both, not of those two things, who's done more than like one main thing, is Arnie, where he was a bodybuilder, then an actor, then a governor, which is like, that's pretty cool. Yeah, like he's the only
Like,
person I can think of who's done like multiple, because like in the time
obviously
available
there's
to them-
loads of people, isn't there? But yeah, that's just in the population of people. Like, yeah, it's a very small amount that have done multiple.
So really, you get the chance to do like maybe one thing.
Yeah.
But there's only time to do one, and you have to pick that one, even though you might want to do more than one.
Yeah. But then people like that, like obviously a lot of famous people and stuff like that, you know, a lot of people are famous these days for not being famous, and you know, they're making mad amounts of money, which and like annoys me. But anyway, for that aside, there are a lot of people like Arnie and that who have contributed, you know, a lot, and you know, he's still, you know, they're always busy, they're always doing something,
Yeah.
and he seems like a decent bloke. Like, I'd love to meet him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's people that don't deserve.
Oh, he's worked hard for it, hasn't he?
He's worked really hard for it.
But like the point is that like he's very unique. Most people don't get the chance to do everything they want to do in their lifetime. So existential dread incorporates that. Like I've got all this stuff I want to do, but actually it's not possible for me to do it all because
But then does
I'm
that,
going to wither and die.
by you thinking like that, do you think, you know, there's no point of me starting to do these things because I'm just going to feel unfulfilled at the end of it? So you're going to just keep putting it off. Then the next thing you know, you're old, and then you think, like, I should have done some of it. Like,
Yeah.
does that make sense?
So,
I can see a lot of people thinking, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, blah, 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 blah. And then they stop and they think, hang on, if I'm going to do this, you know, realistically, that's going to take me, you know, 4 or 5 years.
and they don't do it.
Yeah. And then they think, oh, but then, you know, if I'm doing that, then I'm not going to be able to do this.
And you're not doing
and then
nothing.
and then they just,
You shouldn't
the dread of it. Yeah. They just end up sitting here on the sofa
doing podcasts.
doing a podcast. Yeah.
I would actually say that this is the opposite of that.
Oh yeah, this is not my, like, can I just put out there that I would never think of doing this. Like, this is not my thing.
Well,
So-
luckily I've pressured you into it then.
Yeah.
Isn't it? You've been
But
forced into
in
it.
the way of, like, you've started this off, like the Alfology thing, and it's pretty cool
Alfology2.
because, yeah, Alfology, yeah.
So, yeah.
But you've started this off, and like, it's pretty cool. I haven't watched all of it.
I've watched 10 minutes of one episode.
Being one of your best mates, I should be like that for you. But I've watched most of them, and like, we were speaking about earlier, how a lot of things in life cringe me out. Like, I'm not one of those people who post. No, but I'll get to it. But like, I'm not one of those people who post stories on Instagram and like Snapchat and stuff and being like, "Oh, food for today," or like, or like, "Oh, in the gym," blah blah blah, or like, "Oh, on holiday." Like, I always think that sort of stuff. Like, no one wants to like know what you do. Like, why?
But that is also what social media is for.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, I mostly use social media to watch funny videos and stuff. Like, just keeps me busy. But I know, like, okay, each their own, and people do have interesting lives. But then a lot of the time, you see some and a lot of people, that's like it doesn't interest me. I don't know whether it interests you seeing other people on holiday.
I can't say it does.
No.
But
coming back round to like, that was just going off again. Sorry. About how I cringe at a lot of things, and you were sort of saying, when you were first doing this, you'll look back at it, it makes you cringe, but you have to get through the barrier.
let's get to the cringe barrier.
But this is different to like Snapchat stories and all that stuff, because all this is just us having a chat.
Yeah, like we probably be talking about this stuff anyway.
Yeah, like we actually would as well. Like
We
would
have
be sat.
we have previously had all these conversations.
We would be sat here right now talking about weird stuff like this. So why not video it? And then the good thing is with podcasts and stuff, and I guess this is sort of being a hypocrite on myself, because if I didn't want to see it, I wouldn't tap on it, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay. But they've got the, at least it's in that different sort of section of the internet where
you have to seek it out. If you want to listen,
exactly.
If you want to listen to this,
you have to click on the link.
Go out your way.
Yeah,
you either got to go onto YouTube, which maybe YouTube's a bit different because it would recommend it maybe, and you might end up watching it when you don't want to. And
I like going back to like things that like make you cringe stuff, like with Snapchat and that. I was saying like, I'm not against everything like stories and stuff, but it's when those everyday things of pointlessness that don't need to be shared.
But bringing it all the way back round, Kane,
right?
Isn't it all fairly pointless?
Yeah, and I guess.
So are you assigning meaning to certain things? And
yeah, I am.
So
it's subjective.
Look at that! We've just done a full circle
in a way. But yeah, this is only a small thing of social media, though, isn't it?
Yeah, because it applies to everything.
And I guess
multifaceted.
But I guess thinking about it, it's very subjective, isn't it? I mean, I'm just being very sort of tunnel visioned in the way that maybe people do enjoy seeing other people on the beach and stuff and eating food. But I don't. Yeah,
well, the thing is, I find this about YouTube videos, and like, maybe it's a bit glass houses and stones, but like some of the YouTube videos, I see it like people cooking their dinner. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah. But then I guess it, when you think about it, it is subjective. People all have different interests. A lot of things that I watch, I'm sure a lot of people don't watch.
A lot of people fighting in the street.
Yeah, it just comes up on Facebook there, doesn't it?
Yeah, but because you've previously watched other videos of people fighting in the street. That's how the algorithm works.
Yeah, okay.
Like,
that's not
all people who are interested in cupcakes don't get street fights come up on there.
It's just funny. And then just like funny videos. But yeah, we've gone off on a tangent again.
We have gone off on a tangent, yeah.
So,
but it doesn't matter because, again, A, I can cut it out. B, if I don't, it's a podcast anyway. So that's what happens on podcasts.
But yeah, I just thought I'd put that point across.
Yeah, so ultimately, you agree that there is freedom to do lots of stuff.
Yeah, but
there's not enough time to do it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because think how much stuff there is to do in the world. Like
and if you could live for, say, like 5 times as long, you could get more of it done.
Yeah, you still wouldn't get all of it done. Right?
No, but like, Yeah, I guess you could apply it to however long you'd be alive.
Yeah.
Like if you only live for a year.
But just think though, Alf, like, every few seconds something new, like a new activity has been invented, like, and people are doing.
We're going to invent a few of our own tonight, aren't we? So. Sex.
Yeah. Okay. See how I feel? I'm a bit tired.
You don't need to be awake, mate.
But do you get what I mean? It's endless. Like that's always. It's things like that. Always endless. Always going on. People's lives aren't on the same thing because it comes to an end. So our days are numbered.
That's cheery.
But the world of activities and doing things are ever going.
Yeah. So
If someone dies who owns something, then their son or whatever takes over, or someone new takes over. So that stays constant. The activity itself, not all like things do go down, but do you get what I mean?
No. I literally know what he was talking about.
So like services. So think of like
service stations.
No, like think of the way like the service world, like like you go and do things, stuff like that. Like you say you go on holiday.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Say you go on holiday and you go, I don't know, surfing or something. That's like it's not service, is it? It's like an activity, but like it's sort of service involved. You know, you're being served by someone who. So the world of like activities and stuff, it's always going to carry on, but people's individual lives come to an end.
Yeah, the people were surfing before we were born.
Exactly,
and those people, some of those people are now dead.
Yeah. So, yeah. So
is that your point?
Yeah.
Right. Cool. Right. Well,
but then dread stops it. A lot of people doing what they want.
Okay. So that's nice.
Yeah.
Let's step it up a notch.
Great.
How do you feel about this? That there isn't actually any evidence that anybody else other than you exists.
We spoke about this, didn't we, a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
A few weeks ago.
I can't remember what you said though, because we had about 3/4 of a bottle of vodka at the time.
Yeah. Repeat that. Not that bit. But
3/4 of a bottle of vodka. So there is no evidence that anybody else other than you exists because you can't
prove it.
You can't prove it. The only thing that you can prove is that your own mind exists. It doesn't matter how sophisticated. So, like, for me, sitting here right now, it doesn't matter how sophisticated I know I exist.
Yeah. But you could be, like, fucking mad. And I could just be a figment of your imagination.
It doesn't matter how sophisticated you seem.
Yeah.
You still might be made up by me because you're, like, other people are no more sophisticated than you. Like, your mind is capable of making up other people.
Mm. I get that. I mean, I don't want to say I don't believe it, but it's plausible.
Yeah, I think it's plausible, but I don't believe it.
No, because I mean, like, what am I touching right now?
Well, you're touching me.
Exactly.
And I'm here. Like, I'm telling you, mate.
You ready?
Oh, this is getting weird.
Am I really here? Or am I just being your imagination since you were like, have I just been your imaginary friend since you were 3? It's weird, isn't it?
Well,
who comes up with these things anyway? Like really renowned.
Well, yeah, like philosophers,
like from
philosophizers,
from like Greek period.
No. So most of the existential philosophers came about 200 years ago. So there was one called Søren Kierkegaard. Okay. Who is really famous. He's just like a miserable Danish bastard. He like started it all off.
Yeah.
He was the person who sort of invented the idea of the angst. Like I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this time that I've got. Does it matter? It's all pointless. I hate it. He's like, he came up with the idea of like, well, if it's so pointless, well, I just kill myself now and get it all over and done with, like before.
Okay.
Yeah, he was quite miserable.
He was like pretty intense on it.
Yeah.
Did he kill himself?
No, I think he died of a back disease, an infection in his back or something.
Okay, that's random.
Yeah, I think. I don't actually know. That is a fact which is rattling around in my head somewhere. I don't know. Anyway, Søren Kierkegaard, he came out with all that. And what was I actually talking? What were we talking about? So is there any evidence to suggest that anybody else exists?
Well, no, because you're the only thing that you are really fully aware is that you're of your existence, because you're you're looking at me right now, but I can't categorically say what you're seeing.
No.
And like, obviously you can describe it to me and stuff, but then your perception of things could be different. So
perception's really weird.
Like you could say, oh, I have like really dark hair, or like I have like black hair, or like really brown hair. But then in your mind, really dark brown could be like yellow to me.
Yeah, I think personally that's unlikely.
It is.
I think that the vast likelihood is that your yellow is my yellow.
Yeah,
but it might be slight different because of our eyes being different.
Yeah, but do you get what? Like, obviously, I was just using that like as an example.
Yeah,
but like, I've got no evidence other than the trusting of you.
But isn't that something great about being humans?
What, trust?
That we all just like trust each other. Like,
yeah, I always think that. Like, you go out and about and stuff. I was speaking to this like with this about with my girlfriend. Like, how we go. Like, you go to play. Like, I went to London like 2 weeks ago. And, like, just using London as an example because it's so busy, and like, you know, there's always something going on. But you have the trust to be in public with all these people, and they don't and they don't kill you.
They don't kill you. Yeah, I've always thought that. Like, I'm sitting there with this bloke like at a bus stop, and I'm thinking,
like, he could just kill you if you wanted.
Why aren't we fighting?
Yeah,
if we were cats, we'd be fighting.
Yeah,
like
it's weird because you put, and obviously it does go wrong sometimes because people do kill people,
but not that often though.
Well, no, like, more people don't kill people than they do. Obviously, is that a good fact?
That's huge knowledge. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, like, we're such a trusting species.
But then that sort of helps us because you trust what everybody else tells you about perception.
Yeah.
About what you're perceiving. We all tell each other about what we see, and then that creates reality.
Yeah, but we create our own reality through the trusting of each other, and we build this image. How other than like light and dark, could you explain like a color?
Oh yeah, you can't.
You can't, can
you? Yeah,
like
trying to explain a rainbow to a blind person.
Yeah,
you know, well, it's blue,
and then there's like, I don't know what blue is. Like, but yeah, coming back to it, like, yeah, it's all trusting each other to create a whole reality of what is here.
Yeah. So bringing it right back to the original question, no, there isn't evidence to suggest that other minds exist. So you're happy enough that there isn't solid evidence to say that I am sat here right now and I'm an alive being.
What evidence can you give? Because
but the evidence that is that we all manage to get on together.
The evidence that is there is that we trust each other enough to know in our own minds that this reality is the reality that exists.
Very good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm taking that. That's fucking solid gold. So there's an idea that existence only exists. So the universe only exists.
Yeah.
Because consciousness exists within it. If there was no consciousness, then there'd be no essence of anything.
So sort of like if a tree falls in the forest, but no one's there to hear it.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, sort of.
Because does it exist? Has that made a sound?
Yeah. I mean, obviously it does.
But does it?
Right. Yeah.
But if no one's there to hear it, one.
Oh, stick a microphone there and picks it up.
But no one was there to put the microphone there to hear it.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, yeah, I know it does, but yeah, okay.
But yeah, that same thing. So, like, if humans weren't, if there was no life in the universe, sort of like, would the universe even really exist? If there's nothing to work out that the universe exists, would it even really exist? There's no awareness of it.
Yeah. It would. No, you can't say it would be there, because then every time you just come out with, how do you know it would be there? Because you don't exist. So.
Well, yeah. So checkmate.
But yeah, I mean, you can't really, like, is there any loopholes in this to get through to?
Well, yeah, the loopholes are that stuff does exist, and it would still exist. Otherwise, it's just.
But would it?
Yeah. Well, maybe we've created the universe with our minds.
I don't believe that.
Me neither, actually.
No, because, you know, the universe, I think, is way older than what the human race is.
Oh, yeah. Like yeah.
It's got to be, like, you know, it's just standard practice.
Billions of years old.
Yeah, so, like, that's the problem, though, I think, with our race, like the human race.
What? Well, you're covered. You're like 4 nationalities.
But our problem is that, like, we
whose problem?
Like the humans' problem. Our human race have become, not everyone, obviously, like, but as a sort of general thought process of things, is that, you know, we are the superior.
Yeah, we're a bit self-important.
Yeah, because, oh, look, we can make buildings and talk to each other really, like, loads, and learn different language. Like, so I was thinking this, right? You know, obviously, we speak English.
Mm-hmm.
We know dibs and dabs of other languages. You know, we can get by.
Bonjour.
We can get by in, like, you know, European countries.
Do be able to
There you go. That's what you need. But so we can bring it upon ourselves to, you know, learn different languages and go to different places and pick up their culture. I think, like, that's amazing. Like, I think that's good. Like, if I go to a different country, I want to learn their language and speak to them in that language and stuff. I love that, like, learning about different cultures and stuff. But coming back to, you know, like we were saying about dogs and stuff, like, coming, like, quite a while back.
Yeah, full circle. Yeah, I like a full circle.
Yeah,
big fan.
There's different breeds of dogs, which is equivalent to, like, different, like, nationalities of people.
Yeah,
it is, though, isn't it? Like, you have, like, Siberian Huskies.
Yeah, loosely, though, because we've bred dogs to be.
Okay, but in theory, so let's say, like, when they were wild. And
for argument's sake, yeah. Okay, let's proceed with that.
Okay. Like, I'm not an expert on dogs, but say, like, a dog from France and a dog from England, like, could an English dog go to France, and if the French dog was talking to them, like, communicating, would the dog have to sort of think, oh no, and it would have to speak broken up French dog to it?
What? Yeah. Okay, let's unpack that. I think because dogs don't speak very complicated, like barking.
I guess they're just very, like, either
like if a Frenchman was just shouting at you, you'd understand that he was angry.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter what language he's talking.
You could just have, like, you know, like, is it Rosetta Stone, the thing? Like, you could have, like, dog versions of that, so they can
Rosetta Bone.
There you go.
Write that down.
that was good.
Thanks. No, like, yeah, dogs don't really have language. They sort of, they communicate, but they don't have, like,
no, it's not
language in the way that we do. So they don't have words.
No, yeah,
they might have accents.
That's what I mean. Like,
they do have accents. I think there was that study that said cows have accents, don't they?
But it
different
makes sense.
different moves in different parts of the country.
Yeah, it makes sense though, because they're different breeds, so they're different. Like,
so you got a dog which is like bark, me, bark.
Yeah, and then you've got another one like
bark. That was French for bark, by the way.
yeah.
That was better than mine. German? Bark. No. Oh, that was bad. But I'll cut that out. I'll record later me doing some really good ones.
But okay, we've gone off topic again, massively.
Do dogs speak French?
French bulldogs, man.
Oh yeah, would the universe exist without consciousness? That's what we were talking about.
And we got to like French-speaking dogs. Yeah, we can't really go much into that though, can we? Like that question, because like I said, every time you just come back with, well, how would you know that would happen? Because we wouldn't be existing. And I believe it would exist. And I guess we just have to leave that question at that, because you, like, what else could you say to that? Like, you could either believe it does or it won't.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. So it's up to your personal opinion.
Yeah.
And we'll never know.
Subjective.
Well, we'll never know.
No, we won't know.
That annoys me, not knowing. I hope that when you die, I don't really care about eternal life or anything, but when you die, I hope they just answer all your questions. Like, you get there, God's like, yeah, look, dudes, I'm real. Psych.
Yeah. That would be weird, wouldn't it?
And you're like, oh, I did loads of bad stuff. And go, actually, no, it's chill. And then he's like, look, you're not going to go to heaven, you're not going to go hell, you're not going to purgatory. Like, I don't really exist beyond this point. You're going to be dead in a minute.
Yeah.
But just while you're here,
well, it's like,
do you have any questions?
but it's like, you're not a big Simpsons watcher, are you?
Oh, watch The Simpsons. Yeah.
But have you seen like the one where Homer meets God, and then right at the end he's like, "So God, what's the meaning of life?" And then God's just about to tell him, and then it cuts to the credit. That used to really annoy me when I was a kid,
because you could.
I just wanted to know.
Well, this podcast would have been a lot more informative if you did know.
Matt Groening probably knows.
Maybe The Simpsons is the meaning of life.
Well, there's all these theories now with The Simpsons predicting things.
Yeah.
A lot of them are fake though. Like, a lot of it is.
Yeah, they
after it.
Yeah, they did a couple of Trump ones, didn't
yeah,
they? And, like,
it's like
9/11 in the background and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but yeah. Like, then because it's almost like a weird reversal thing, that because it does happen, people create fake new ones because people will believe it.
Yeah, so
because it's happened previously.
Yeah, but
anyway,
yeah,
yeah. So I would like God. I don't care about the eternal life thing. If I do meet God, I hope that when I die, all the questions just get answered. What's the meaning of life? Like,
that's it.
That's it, really.
Because that covers everything.
Yeah.
But
and how does quantum physics work? That's all I want to know.
Yeah.
And do you believe Harry Styles was a good choice to play you in the TV adaptation?
But do you believe, though, this is part of it all, like the meaning of life and stuff? For me, like, a big part of life is death.
Yeah.
So I'm interviewing you now, aren't I? Just asking you, but
that's fine.
What do you think when you die, like, realistically? Like,
I think you're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely not okay with that.
Oh yeah. It's a horrible thought. But
that absolutely bums me out. But unfortunately, and like, I really want to believe some other way.
Yeah.
And every single time I sit down and try and work it out.
But then it's sort of,
I don't live forever though.
No.
That would be equally as bad.
Yeah. But
somewhere in between being dead forever and living forever.
If we're sort of saying, like, when you die, that's it. Like, but don't get sad. But, like, isn't it sort of comforting to know that, you know, that is it? You know, there's not going to be, if there is an extra part to it, you don't know whether that's going to be suffering or something nice. So wouldn't you just rather have that clean cut? That's it.
I told you I don't figure it out. Yeah. No, that is, yeah, sort of.
So have I made you feel better?
Not really.
Okay, but
you know, like I try to just sort of think, well, there's not much you can do about it.
Well, there's not. That's the thing. And then that goes back to all,
And like,
that goes back to the whole point of why spend our time thinking about the meaning of life, like we're doing in this podcast. Why are we wasting our time?
Great. My personal opinion is that when you are dead, and then that is it.
Yeah.
And I almost hope it is that way because I don't want to live forever. I'd hate to live forever also.
Yeah.
Maybe I'd like to live for like as long as I want to.
Yeah.
That would be the ideal scenario that I get to choose. I'm like, right, it's time to
do you reckon you'd stretch it out a bit too far though?
Yeah, probably.
And
like we're doing with this podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. But would you stretch out and like would you be getting older as well as you're stretching out?
Oh, see that's the problem. Like, if you, I'd certainly like to live a lot longer if I could stay young.
Yeah.
If you could live for like 1,000 years at age 25, that'd be class, wouldn't it?
That'd be pretty cool.
But if you keep on decaying,
then it's pretty disgusting.
It's pretty lame.
Yeah. What would you class as old?
70.
Okay. Yeah. When you retire.
Yeah.
I've got much time left.
But again, 60s, you're not old. You're older than middle-aged, aren't you?
Wait, like even in your 50s, you can tell that you're going that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're always worrying about turning 30. That's still 6 years away, but then that's not even that long.
So
like
that's the equivalent distance of when we were 18.
Yeah, scary. But like that's not even old, is it? Really?
No, not. It's halfway to 60.
Yeah,
and by halfway, like the first 5 years of your life, you didn't really know anything about it.
Yeah, that's true.
So like, really, you're only 19.
That makes me feel better. Yeah.
I mean, you don't look 19, mate. Don't get me wrong.
No.
You look horrible.
You look about 50.
Yeah. I don't think there's an awful lot left, really. We've sort of covered off most of it. Things like, that we know that we're alive and that's weird. How random is it that we are alive? Okay, so just a quick question.
Yeah.
This probably isn't true. But how do you feel about the idea that the universe and everything in it was created only 5 minutes ago? And that...
Okay, explain.
Well, that all your memories and stuff was pre-inserted.
So what?
So like the whole universe and everything in it was only created 5 minutes ago.
And it's just all preloaded, so everything I'm thinking
So everything that you think that you know didn't actually happen. It's just been loaded into your brain automatically.
Yeah, I don't believe it, but that's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I think that is generally the accepted view on that idea.
That's cool.
No, I don't think so, because I remember being there when previous stuff happened.
Yeah.
But then that is covered up by the theory.
Yeah, because it's just like...
But then like time is weird because time's like made up.
Yeah, time is made up because it is. Like, at what point has everyone synchronized? Obviously, time differences in different areas of the world and that, but have synchronized their time so everyone has that same time. At what point has everyone gone, guys, it's 3 o'clock here?
Yeah.
So everyone set your clocks to 3 o'clock. And then like in Italy or whatever, is it an hour forward?
Yeah, like an hour or two.
So they just be like, okay, so guys, we know that the UK is saying it's, or whatever we would call back then, Britannia or whatever.
What do you reckon? There was like a huge conference call?
There must, like Lord of the Rings with a beacon. And they would have all said...
The beacon to say that it's 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
in Spain.
Yeah, so then everyone would be like, okay, so we've had this, like, maybe all the like world leaders at the time came together and said, okay, we'll use our sundials for now, and then up until this point of time, everyone's going to agree that...
But the thing is, like, time measurement wasn't invented in the UK. I've just completely made that up. I don't know where time measurement was invented, but like, I'm sure humans in all parts of the globe were measuring time.
Yeah, but then differently.
But yeah, they
So
wasn't divided into 24
how has it
hour.
all come together?
Yeah, it wasn't divided. Each day wasn't divided into 24.
How has it all come together that everyone's agreed that this is actually the time? Why are people agreeing that that is the time? Because what is time? Because time isn't a thing, really.
No, particularly not measured time. Like, it's just referential for us to get on with our lives, isn't it? But time as a whole, like, throughout.
Do you feel that time is a positive thing or a negative thing? Does it keep us sane?
I think it's a bit of both, isn't it?
Keep us regimented?
It's like, yeah, I like that there's lots of it.
Yeah. And
but I don't like that there's not enough of it.
Do you know what I do like? Is when you wake up throughout the middle of the night, like say you've got work or something, and then you go, oh no, I've got to get up in a minute, and then you look and it's like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
so
you're like, yeah!
So what's like, that's a good
back
thing.
of the fucking now. I've got an extra 2 hours to sleep.
That's like a good thing about time. I like that.
Yeah, having more time than you thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then it does go really quick when you fall back to sleep. Another thing that I find weird, like this is just going off now. Sleep. Sleep is weird.
Yeah, what happens to you when you go to sleep?
So why do people...
I get really scared about it.
But like, okay. But like, you know, when you're just like, oh, I can't wait to get into bed and go to sleep. But
as soon as you get there.
But like, yeah, why do people look so forward to going to sleep? Because when you're asleep,
you're not there.
No.
No, well, the thing is, that's what scares me when I go to, every night when I go to sleep, almost every night, I lie down to go to sleep and I'm getting there. A little voice will pop up going, what happens to you when you're asleep? Like,
yeah.
Like you're not, like, you know, the little conversation in your head goes like, okay, so we know that we're awake right now. We know that we're conscious right now. There's going to be a very, very long gap in a minute between the next time that we all know that we're here. Yeah. These are all the voices, by the way. That's we.
Okay. It's like Inside Out.
Yeah. Yeah, like Inside Out. Yeah, it's a good film. All the Inside Out people in my brain are going, we all know we're here.
Yeah.
And in a minute, we're not going to know we're here. And then in a number of hours' time, we're going to know we're here again.
Yeah.
And I always think that scares me, that time was I'm not here.
Because, as well, like, when you're asleep, like, there's no real evidence. I know, obviously, like, people can, like, video themselves sleeping and stuff like that, but generally, when you're asleep, there's no evidence of what's actually going on while you're asleep.
And there's so much time spent asleep as well.
Yeah. I like
you sleep for like 25 years of your life.
Yeah. I like having a good 8 hours minimum sleep.
So like most people do.
Yeah, but like, I mean, people can function off, 3-4
hours.
Yeah,
I can, yeah. I had 5 hours last night.
Yeah. I'm not great. It takes me a while if I do that. But, the 8 hours, that's like as long as a work shift. That's equivalent of getting up at 9, working till 5, and you, like, asleep. You've done a shift of work, led down with your eyes shut. That equivalent.
And you didn't know you were there throughout any of it.
I dream a lot, though. I remember a lot of my dreams. Like, most nights I'll remember my dreams.
That's weird.
That is very weird, yeah.
I never do. Well,
and like,
very rarely.
My dreams vary, though, because a lot of my dreams, I know I'm asleep. So I know I'm dreaming.
That's quite cool.
Yeah. But then a lot of them feel real. So a lot of them I'll dream, and then in my dream I'll wake up and I'll get up.
Okay, so I actually read something about this the other day.
Okay.
So how do you know that you're not dreaming right now?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think that also. That's going back to our thing, isn't it, really? Because because when you're dreaming, I think dreams, they don't last very long.
Like something. Isn't it something like 15 seconds?
But like in your dreams, it feels like it lasts for ages. Yeah. So like this whole...
Because you think like, okay, I woke up, went to the supermarket, met George Bush at the supermarket, then we went skiing.
Yeah.
But in your dream state, like you do all of those things, and that's
so
that's
like
for hours.
Our whole life, this could just be 15 seconds of someone's dream.
So Narnia.
That's plausible as well.
But the thing I was reading was that there was this guy who had like really, really, really vivid dreams.
Yeah.
And they were so vivid that he felt like he was just being alive whilst he was dreaming.
Yeah.
They're called lucid dreams, and he knows that he's dreaming.
Okay, yeah, so he can like control.
Yeah. But he knows that he's dreaming, but it seems vivid. It seems like it's real life.
Yeah.
And he came to the conclusion that because in his dreams, he'd have to think like, well, this could just be real life.
Okay.
That I'm in right now.
Yeah.
And he came to the conclusion that when he was dreaming, the only way he could tell is if he asked himself if he was dreaming, because you'd never do that while you were conscious. You would never say, "Is this a dream?" while you were conscious.
You would if like you went to like a sporting event and like.
Yeah, but only in like not in like an actual like, I think I'm dreaming way.
Yeah, this is sort of like Inception, though, isn't it? With the Twizzly thing. Have you watched Inception? That's
the Twizzly thing.
But I've had Inception dreams. I've had dreams inside dreams. Like honestly, like I've had.
That's weird.
Yeah, I've had things where, I'm dreaming, and then from that dream, it would feel like like a jump, like a falling dream.
Oh, one of those, yeah.
But I've had a falling dream within a dream. So then my falling dream would wake me up into the next dream where I think I'm like awake. I wouldn't say it's lucid dream though, because I wouldn't say I can control it. But I'd feel like I'm awake, and then something else would happen that's obviously not plausible or whatever, and then that would wake me up. But sometimes as well, that would go into another dream, and then eventually I'd wake up.
That's weird as fuck.
Mm. And like, yeah, genuinely, I've had those before, and I've had those quite a few times. Like, I haven't for a while, but
that shut me up.
Fucking Ebola virus.
Anyway, I don't think. Do you have anything else to say?
No, mate, that was good.
It's good, wasn't it?
Yeah. Thank you for having me. I shall be on again. Hopefully. If you'd have me again.
No, this has been a disaster. This is never going out.
No, it's good. It's good fun.
Yeah, no, all good.
Cool.